Morning everyone, Ryan here from Next Level Property Investing. I hope you're well. 3 biggest mistakes that people make in property. Just before we dive into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all the notifications when we're launching new content. And if you want to take your game to the next level, head over to nextlevelpropertyinvesting.com, book a free strategy call with myself and we'll have a 15-minute chat. So for me, the 3 biggest mistakes that people make. One is lack of action. There's so many people wanting to get into property, and the lack of action. They collect the free stuff, they go on the free webinars, they do the seminars, the podcast, everything, but they don't take any action. There's plenty of free content that I put out there, and send plenty of free PDFs and stuff like that, and the same people are still collecting the same stuff 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line, 18 months down the line, and they're not actually taking any action. If these people had been taking action, they wouldn't need the free stuff because they'd already be getting their valuable experience from doing it themselves. They'd be, in the trenches, they'd understand the mistakes, and they'd be a lot further on with the game, so they wouldn't need the surface level sort of education that you get, and for me it's frustrating because if you're hanging around in the industry for 12 months, 18 months, and you're still not taking action, then quite honestly, I don't think you're ever going to. There's a fundamental problem there. You're fundamentally not motivated to take action, or you're maybe scared, which is one of the other reasons. You're maybe not confident enough that you're doing the right thing, and that is ultimately meaning that you're not going to take that jump. And I see it time and time again. Some people have all the education, they know all about the strategies, they probably know how to do the due diligence, they've kind of figured all that out, or they think they have. But at the same time, until you put the due diligence into practice and see that it plays out, it's all well and good looking at numbers on a spreadsheet, checking areas out, checking valuations out, etc. But if you've never actually put that into practice, then how do you know if you're doing it right? So you've got to take the jump at some point. The definition of an entrepreneur is somebody that takes financial risk for financial gain, and ultimately property investing is an investment, and therefore you're going to have to take a risk. So take action. If you're on the sidelines and you're struggling, you need to figure out what's stopping you taking the action. Stop collecting the free stuff, get involved, get stuck in, invest a bit of money and take some action. Done correctly, it's profitable, it's lucrative, and it's a long-term strategy that you can rely on for passive income time and time again when it's set up. So, that's one of the biggest things that I'm seeing at the minute. The other thing is obviously lack of knowledge, or they think that they need to rely on deal sources to find them good deals. For me, I've seen so many people, especially this year, come to me for their help on our service accommodation side, on the managed service accommodation side, because they've bought into deals from deal sources who want nothing to do with them. After they've bought the deal, they've charged them probably 3.5, sometimes I've seen £5,000 sourcing fees for rent to SA deals. The figures aren't stacking up, they're not getting bookings, they're blowing money every single month, they've paid fortunes for furniture packs, and for me it's really frustrating that companies operating this way, and don't want anything to do with it and put people in the financial situation, or a negative financial situation through their actions. It's not right, but at the same time, everyone's responsible for their own actions. You should be doing your own due diligence, you should be sourcing your own deals. Don't tell me you haven't got time. I hear this time and time again. Another mistake people make: I haven't got time, I work, I've got kids, I've got this. I built my property portfolio exactly the same situation as probably 99% of the people starting out in property, where you've got a million other things that you need to do, and it's just don't keep coming up with these excuses. If a negative, you wouldn't believe how powerful negative thoughts are. If you knew how powerful negative thoughts are, you wouldn't think them. You've got to stop telling yourself excuses why you can't do stuff, and you've got to start figuring out and solving problems and figuring solutions out how you can do stuff. So, time is not an excuse. I guarantee you, most of the people that say they haven't got time do not get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They do not go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. They watch at least half an hour, 45 minutes of some form of television or a YouTube video that has no purpose to moving them forward with their business. I bet they stand around for at least half an hour to an hour at work, chatting, having a coffee with other colleagues. I bet they spend, half an hour in the car listening to music as opposed to listening to podcasts and educating themselves. So there's quick wins throughout the day. I make a lot of phone calls in my car journeys. I find that's a good time for me to use that time so I'm not wasting time. So ringing agents, ringing landlords, ringing investors, trying to get direct to vendors, trying to get direct to landlords, following up with people, making sure that we're moving forward all the time. And, I use that time wisely. If I'm not doing that, I'm listening to podcasts. I like to educate myself, whether that's on property, business, personal development, whatever it might be, always utilizing time to the absolute max. And I think as you get busier and busier and as you get bigger and bigger, your time becomes more important to you than anything. Obviously the money builds and it's great, but then as the money builds, if you're not careful, you lose all your time, and that's not what I want it for. That's not why most people want to invest in property for. They want the money, but they also want to do it for the time freedom as well. So you've got to be careful not to get totally sucked into the operations and then it soak all your time up. So as you get bigger and bigger and scaling, your time becomes more important than anything. So constantly looking for quick wins for time. And if I can get something rattled off in a car journey, or whilst I'm sat on the train, or whatever it might be, then that's good use of time rather than just sitting around doing nothing. So don't tell me you haven't got time. Don't use it as an excuse, because it is nothing more than an excuse. The human body only needs 6 or 7 hours sleep per day, and that leaves a lot of hours every single day, and I guarantee you within those hours you can find at least 2 of them per day to move your business forward. The next thing is marketing. I do not see enough marketing going on. Omnipresence, you've got to be everywhere. You've got to get yourself in everybody's mindsets. You've got to be, everybody needs to think, that's the man I need to go and see, or that's the lady I need to go and see, or yep, they're the people that we need to talk to about our property problems. And by getting yourself out there, making sure that everybody knows who you are, whether it's dropping letters, doing Facebook ads, social media posts, building networks through either online networking or offline networking, in WhatsApp groups. The more you put into something, the more you get out of it. So the more you market yourself, at the end of the day, and I say this time and time again, money follows attention. You get yourself some attention, you'll get yourself some money. There's plenty of money out there. There's billions out there, and you only need a small slice of that. You've just got to get some attention on yourself, and that money will start coming to you. That's the way money works. It flows towards attention. So find a way to get yourself some attention. Do it in the right way. Don't do it in the wrong way. A lot of people just pitch and offer absolutely no value at all. They're not the people that are successful with marketing. You speak to any successful marketer, they will tell you that you've got to build value, you've got to build audiences, and from that you'll get attention, and then you'll get the money. So work on that, get your adverts out there, make sure you've got good copy, make sure that you post them regularly, and just every single day you've got to be consistent with your actions. If you're not consistent with your actions, you're not going to move forward. Building a property portfolio, it's not a quick fix, okay? Yes, you can get some deals quickly. I had a mentee came on board 2 weeks ago. They've got 5 deals on board already, which is absolutely fantastic. I think that breaks the record. Had a conversation with them yesterday, and that is superb. But most people, it'll take maybe 30 days to get their first deal on board, and then they'll start scaling thereafter. Done correctly with the right education, the right sort of guidance, you can do that, and you can get going quickly. But even so, it still takes time to go and go and go. Even 5 properties, by the time you get them set up, and get them cash flowing, it's still not going to be enough money to get maybe out of a job or take that financial freedom, give you that time freedom. So you've got to build at it, and you only do that by being consistent with your daily actions. Every day I wake up, I do the same thing every single day between 5 and 8 o'clock. And that means nothing can get in the way of my day. So, we have to be reactive at times, especially when you're building property portfolios and you've got a lot of things on the go. You're the key decision maker, so you're going to get asked questions, but you want to make sure that the key stuff, the stuff that moves your business forward, nothing interrupts that. So that's why I focus on that at the beginning of the day, and then every single day I've done my daily actions that are going to keep me consistent and keep me moving forward, and then I've got the rest of the day to do what's necessary, and maybe be reactive to certain problems, or if something pulls me off on a tangent one way or another, I can do that, and it's not going to affect the result because I've done my core work in the morning. So for me, that's worked wonders. I've had it in play now for probably 4 or 5 years, getting up at 5 a.m. and kicking forward thereafter, using that quiet time, your mobile's not ringing, the world's asleep, and you just get a real focus sort of time. Also, when you first wake up, there is a theory that your brain is at its most active because it's not tired, it's alert, once you've woken yourself up. So, you get more focus work in there as well. So, so for me, that really works. So get consistent, stop creating excuses, find the time and take some action, take some action. If you don't take action, you're never going to move forward. Don't forget to subscribe, drop some comments, let me know what you think of the video, let me know what you want to hear more of, and head over to nextlevelpropertyinvesting.com. There's some free training on there as well, and book a free strategy call if you're interested in taking your journey forward, accelerate those results, maybe get the 5 properties on in a few weeks like my mentees have just done, which is awesome. Take care, have an awesome weekend.